The Intec fleet hovered above the shattered remnants of humanity's last stronghold, their massive warships blotting out the stars. The planet beneath was scarred and broken, its once vibrant cities reduced to smoking craters. For centuries, the Intec had spread terror across the galaxy, enslaving or exterminating any species that dared to resist. They believed humanity was no different. They were wrong. Commander Elena Drake stood on the bridge of the Erebus, humanity's last dreadnought. The holographic displays around her flickered with streams of data energy levels, shield integrity, the trajectories of the enemy ships. Her crew worked in grim silence, each knowing this would likely be their final battle. "All systems ready, Commander," said Lieutenant Chen, his voice steady despite the tension in the air. Elena nodded, her jaw tight. "Good, open a channel to the fleet." The comms officers tapped a few keys, and the faces of the remaining fleet commanders appeared on the central display. These were the last defenders of Earth, captains of battered cruisers and frigates, each one carrying thousands of lives and the hopes of an entire species. "Ladies and gentlemen," Elena began, her voice calm but unyielding. "This is it. The Intec believe they've already won. They think we're beaten, broken, but they've underestimated us, just like every other enemy who's dared to stand against humanity." She paused, letting her words sink in. "Today, we show them why you don't corner humans. Today, we make them pay for every life they've taken, every world they've destroyed. Today, the Intec shall burn." A chorus of acknowledgments echoed across the channel. Elena closed the link and turned back to her crew. "Activate the Archangel Protocol." The room fell silent. The Archangel Protocol was humanity's last-ditch weapon, a technology so destructive that it had been classified as a war crime by the Galactic Council. But the Council was gone, wiped out by the Intec, and humanity had nothing left to lose. Chen hesitated. "Commander, are you sure?" Elena's gaze hardened. "Do it." The Erebus shuddered as its systems redirected power to the Archangel Array. Outside, the ship's hull began to glow, arcs of energy dancing along its surface. The Intec fleet took notice, their ships shifting formation as they prepared to engage. "Enemy vessels are locking weapons," said the tactical officers. "Hold steady," Elena ordered. She watched as the Intec ships moved closer, their confidence palpable. They thought they were facing a desperate, outmatched foe. They didn't realize they were about to face humanity's wrath. The lead Intec warship fired first, a lens of plasma streaking toward the Erebus. The ship's chutes flared, absorbing the impact, but Elena didn't flinch. "Archangel Array at full charge," Chen reported. Elena took a deep breath. "Fire!" A blinding surge of energy erupted from the Erebus, a beam of light so intense it seemed to tear the fabric of space itself. The beam struck the Intec flagship, obliterating it in an instant. The explosion triggered a chain reaction, engulfing nearby vessels in a cascade of fire and debris. The remaining Intec ships scrambled to retreat, but it was too late. The Erebus unleashed another blast, and another, each one carving through the enemy fleet with surgical precision. The once mighty armada was reduced to scattered wreckage, their invincible facade shattered. On the bridge, the crew erupted into cheers, but Elena remained focused. "Target the remaining ships, leave no survivors." As the last of the Intec vessels were destroyed, Elena finally allowed herself a moment of relief. The battle was won, but the cost had been staggering. Humanity had survived, but barely. "Status report," she demanded. "The fleet is holding, but we've taken heavy losses," Chen said. "Earth, it's..." He trailed off, unable to finish. Elena closed her eyes. She knew what he meant. Earth was gone, a casualty of the Intec's unrelenting assault. But humanity lived on, scattered among the stars, and as long as they lived, they would fight. She opened her eyes, her expression steely. "Send a message to all surviving colonies. Tell them humanity endures, and tell them we'll never stop until the Intec are nothing but a memory." The crew nodded, their resolve renewed. The Intec had tried to break them, but instead, they had forged something unbreakable, a reason to fight, a reason to endure. And the Intec would burn for it. The silence of victory was deafening. Debris from the obliterated Intec fleet drifted through space, a testament to humanity's fierce determination to survive. But there was no time for celebration. Commander Elena Drake stood on the bridge of the Erebus, staring out at the remnants of Earth now a dark, lifeless sphere. How many colonies responded? Elena asked, her voice steady but laced with exhaustion. Lieutenant Chen scanned his console, the faint hum of the ship's systems filling the air. 37 confirmed, Commander. Most are low on resources and unable to assist with immediate reconstruction. Elena frowned. 37 colonies, out of thousands that had once thrived under Earth's protection. Only 37 had survived Intec's genocidal campaign, and even they were barely clinging to life. We'll make it work, she said firmly. Send them a directive. Focus on self-sustainability first. We'll coordinate supply routes once we've regrouped. Chen nodded and relayed the orders. Despite the devastation, there was no trace of despair in Elena's expression. Her resolve was a beacon to the crew, a reminder that humanity had faced extinction and emerged bloodied but unbroken. In the ship's medbay, Dr. Mira Patel tended to a young soldier whose face was streaked with ash and dried blood. "We're lucky," Mira said, applying a dermal regenerator to his burned arm, a few inches higher, and that shrapnel would have hit an artery. The soldier winced but managed a weak smile. "Lucky's not the word I'd use, Doc. We're alive because Commander Drake, his voice faltered, and his eyes welled up, because she didn't give up on us." Mara gave him a reassuring pat on the shoulder. "None of us are giving up. Not now. Rest, you'll be needed soon." As she turned away, Mara glanced at the viewport. The endless expanse of stars seemed colder now, as if mourning the billions of lives lost. But amid the void, she felt a spark of hope. Humanity endured. "Commander," the tactical officers interrupted Elena's thoughts. "Long-range sensors are picking up a faint signal. It's human." Elena's eyes snapped to the display. Location: Sector 14. It's coming from the Odyssey. The name hit her like a bolt. The Odyssey had been one of Earth's first deep space exploration ships, presumed lost decades ago. If it had survived, it could be carrying valuable technology for survivors. "Set a course," she ordered. "Maximum speed." As the Erebus approached the signal source, the crew worked with feverish intensity. The Odyssey appeared on the main screen, a hulking silhouette drifting in the shadow of a nearby gas giant. Its hull was battered, its lights dim, but it was intact. "No signs of life aboard," Chen reported, "but the signal is active. Looks like an automated distress beacon." "Prepare a boarding party," Elena said. "I'll lead it myself." Chen hesitated. "Commander, with all due respect, you should stay here. We can rest." "I'm not asking for your permission, Lieutenant," Elena interrupted, her tone leaving no room for argument. "Suit up." The boarding party stepped onto the Odyssey through a breach in its hull. The air was thin but breathable, filled with the acrid scent of burnt circuits. Emergency lights flickered, casting eerie shadows along the corridors. "Stay alert," Elena warned, her weapon raised. "We don't know what we're walking into." Deeper into the ship, they found the source of the signal. The main bridge. The consoles were coated in dust, and the captain's chair was empty. But one display still glowed faintly, its screen displaying a single line of text. "Project Arc, Phase 1 complete." Elena's breath caught. Project Arc was a myth, a whispered contingency plan for preserving humanity's legacy. In case of catastrophic extinction, if Phase 1 was complete, then... "Commander," Chen called, pointing to another terminal. "You need to see this." Elena approached and scanned the data, coordinates, thousands of them, each one marked with a designation: Arc-1, Arc-2, Arc-3. Her heart raced. These weren't just coordinates, they were colony sites, hidden away in uncharted space beyond the Intec's reach. Humanity's future wasn't just survival, it was expansion. "Get this data back to the Erebus," Elena ordered, "and prepare for departure. We've got work to do." As they returned to their ship, Elena allowed herself a rare smile. The Intec had thought they could extinguish humanity, but they had only scattered the embers. Now, those embers would ignite a fire that would burn brighter than ever. Humanity endured, and humanity would rise. The Erebus surged through the void, its engines burning bright as it carried the hopes of humanity to a new beginning. The discovery of Project Ark had transformed despair into determination, and Commander Elena Drake now bore the weight of a renewed mission to reignite humanity's flame among the stars. In the command center, Elena studied the coordinates displayed on the central console. Each one represented a potential safe haven, a secret refuge established long before the Intec had arrived to lay waste to Earth. "What do we know about the first location?" she asked, turning to Lieutenant Chen. "It's a moon orbiting a Class K star," Chen replied. "The records suggest it was terraformed centuries ago and equipped with autonomous systems to maintain a biosphere. We'll know more once we arrive." Elena nodded. "How long until we reach it?" 18 hours at current speed, Chen said. She leaned back in her chair, her mind racing. If the Ark colonies were operational, they could serve as staging grounds for rebuilding their civilization. But if they weren't, she pushed the thought aside. Failure wasn't an option. In the ship's mess hall, the mood among the crew was tense but hopeful. Stories circulated about what the Ark colonies might hold: lush landscapes, advanced technology, and the means to strike back at the Intec. The soldiers and engineers who had survived the last battle clung to these tales like lifelines. "Do you think the colonies will still be there?" one young ensign asked, his voice low. "They'll be there," Mira Patel said firmly. The ship's doctor had become something of a moral anchor for the crew. "We've come this far. Humanity always finds a way." The ensign nodded, comforted by her certainty. Across the room, soldiers shared quiet conversations, their weapons resting beside them. They knew the fight wasn't over, but for the first time in years, they had something worth fighting for. When the Erebus finally dropped out of hyperspace, the bridge crew was greeted by the sight of a golden moon, bathed in the light of its parent star. The surface shimmered with oceans and forests, an oasis in the void. "Scans confirm breathable atmosphere and stable ecosystems," Chen reported. "There's a faint energy signature coming from the northern hemisphere." "Could be the Ark facility," Elena said. "Prepare a landing party. I want boots on the ground within an hour." The shuttle descended through the moon's atmosphere, cutting through wisps of cloud to reveal a verdant landscape. Rolling hills stretched toward the horizon, dotted with structures that gleamed in the sunlight. The landing party disembarked cautiously, weapons drawn, but the only sound was the rustling of wind through the trees. "Commander," Chen called, pointing to a nearby building. "That looks like the source of the energy signature." The team approached the structure, its walls smooth and seamless, marked with the unmistakable emblem of Earth's old Terran alliance. The doors opened silently at their approach, revealing a cavernous interior filled with dormant machinery. "Power systems are online but in low-energy mode," one of the engineers observed. "If this facility's been running autonomously all these years, then it's a miracle." Elena finished. "Can you bring it fully online?" The engineer nodded. "I need a few hours." As the team spread out to secure the area, Elena walked to a console in the center of the room. Its screen flickered to life, displaying a message. "Welcome to Ark -1, initiating restoration protocols." A low hum filled the air as lights flickered on and machinery began to whir. Elena felt a surge of relief. This was it. This was the beginning of humanity's rebirth. Over the next several days, the crew of the Erebus worked tirelessly to reactivate the Ark systems. The facility was a treasure trove of resources, advanced medical supplies, agricultural technology, and even schematics for ships designed to withstand the harshest conditions of deep space. But the greatest discovery came when Chen and Mira stumbled upon a sealed chamber deep within the complex. Inside, they found rows of stasis pods, each one containing a human life. "Cryosleep," Mira whispered, her voice filled with awe. "They're alive." Elena joined them, her expression unreadable as she stared at the pods. "How many?" "Over 5,000, Chen said, "and the records suggest there are more pods at the other Ark sites." Elena placed a hand on the nearest pod, her voice barely above a whisper. "We're not just rebuilding, we're bringing our people back." For the first time since Earth's fall, the crew of the Erebus felt the weight of possibility. Humanity had endured, but now it had a future. That night, as the moon's twin stars sat on the horizon, Elena stood outside the Ark facility, gazing at the sky. The Intec thought they had crushed humanity, but all they had done was scatter the seeds. "We'll rise again," she murmured to herself, "and this time, nothing will stop us."